Putin has lost a lot of Russia's male population in the fighting in Ukraine. But does he have a half-baked scheme to try to bring some good old conservative men back into Russian society? And just why are a bunch of U.S. influencers salivating? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's talk about this insane story. So Putin has decided that Russia is going to be a haven to escape those damn Western liberals. In fact, Russia, who traditionally requires you to meet a quota, have knowledge of the Russian government, Russian language, Russian history, and laws before you're granted a visa, have instead instituted a policy to circumvent this. Right now, any foreigners whose country Russia deems too neoliberal can move to Russia, where traditional values reign supreme, according to a document signed by President Vladimir Putin. Right? This is, of course, from TASS, Russia's news agency. So this is the Russian spin on things. Under the document, foreign nationals will have the right to apply for temporary residence in Russia outside of the approved quota. Of course, applications are based on their rejection of the applicant's rejection of their country's policies, quote, aimed at imposing destructive neoliberal ideas on people, which run counter to traditional Russian spiritual and moral values. What exactly is he talking about? Well, the answer is pretty straightforward, actually. Right? He wants more people to defect from the West. And if you've been on your Facebook lately, you know that the classic boomer uncle move of screaming about the horrible liberal destruction of their country, Putin's going for that demographic. They're going for the angry uncle demographic. They're trying to, of course, more likely, they're trying to bring in young, productive citizens. And more importantly, I think even Russia knows they're not going to get thousands or even tens of thousands of people in this policy. Instead, I think what they're going for is trying to get prominent folks, prominent people from other countries who they can then use for propaganda purposes, to roll them out and say, see, these people moved to Russia because they were tired of, pick your conservative talking point here. Right? Tired of living in a country with people who believe other things than they do. Now, what's I think most interesting is, again, the number of American influencers that seem to be salivating at this. Of course, they point out that former Fox News personality Tucker Carlson praised Russian society, calling it shocking and disturbing how much nicer Moscow was than any city in the USA. Of course, noted commentator Alex Jones said, breaking, Putin just dropped a bombshell decree, inviting people from across the globe who are fed up with the globalist neoliberal nightmare to seek sanctuary in traditional Russia. To point out a whole bunch of things. One, Putin is the richest human being ever to exist. The entire country of Russia is his personal piggy bank. So to say that he is not a member of the globalist neoliberal order, oh God, I can't even have this dude on my, I can't even have him anywhere near my algorithm. It's going to ruin it. Right. But the point is that, remember, the globalist neoliberals, you might also note that the owner of Chelsea Football Club, right? Prominent UK football clubs, huge real estate deals, mega yachts, is the Russian elite, guys. So when people are like, oh, the globalist elite, neoliberal nightmare, guys, Russia is the globalist elite. They are firmly in that camp. I don't know what else to tell you. Of course, on Twitter, people getting dunked on. One ex-user replied to Jones and said, yes, please move to Russia. You'll love all that freedom. I will personally pay for your ticket and a year's rent in an apartment if you move to Russia. Jones replied, no. Right? One person said, quote, I'd rather be under the leadership of Vladimir Putin any day over Kamala Harris. These are some real super hot takes. By the way, they're probably trolls, automated accounts. Someone else accurately points out it's a trap. Now we're going to talk about why this is a trap for a variety of reasons, and explain that what exactly you're fleeing may not be what you think it is. But of course, if you feel like you are getting crushed, well, if you feel like you're getting crushed by neoliberal values here in the West, I can't help you. But what I can help you is if you feel like you're getting crushed by your to-do list, you may need the energy drink alternative, Strike Gum. It's made in the USA, obviously veteran owned. We've concentrated an entire energy drink's worth of caffeine into each individual piece, 90 milligrams in each piece of gum. But unlike an energy drink, one, it's not $5 at the gas station. Two, there's no sugar, so there's no sugar crash. Doesn't taste like medicine. It's a refreshing mint flavor. But best of all, you can put it in your pocket and chew it when you need it. So this bad boy, if you're on you're working construction or in the trades, you're a cop, you're a nurse, right? And you need a source of caffeine now. You can't stop. What are you going to do? Stop work, drive to a gas station, get a Red Bull? Half the time, if you do work with your hands, you can't even carry around an energy drink. Just keep this in your pocket. Pop it in, chew it, get the energy you need, and you're back in action. Go to strikegum.com. Here, I'm going to save you guys the shopping. You want the 5-pack, right? Gets you the equivalent of 25 energy drinks for $1 each. And you can put it in your car, in your office, in your glove box. Even a pack you can give to someone at work who looks like they're fading, or you need them to get their act together. So check it out at strikegum.com. Link is in the description. Okay, let's talk a little bit about conservatism in Russia. Conservative means something a little different in Russia. Characterized support by Orthodox values, right? The Russian Orthodox Church's values. Russian imperialism, right? Which means expanding Russia's power. Statism, the belief that the state and economic interventionism, right? And they say, they're defending Russia's historical time. They're historical entities. But here's the thing. Russian conservatism, unlike American conservatism, rejects laissez-faire economics. The free market is bullshit, according to Russian conservatives. And that's what they mean by economic interventionism. The state should govern everything, all economic activity. Yikes. Russian conservatism, of course, largely populist and anti-private sector, strongly nationalist and socially conservative. Believes the state should control both economic and social policy as it aligns with Tsarism and the teachings of the Russian Orthodox Church. So if you like free market economics, Russia's probably not the place for you. But also, if you enjoy in your liberal, neoliberal country, yeah, we have this thing, the Bill of Rights. And yeah, I get it. It annoys you. It annoys all of us because it allows people that are annoying to, exist. But guess what? In Russia, you won't have that problem unless you become the problem. So you may notice Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging freedom of speech, of the press, or the right of people to peaceably assemble, and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Guess what, guys? Try to be those Russian conscripts saying, hey, you may remember, hey, I'm being punished in an illegal way. The Russian government says, go pound sand, buddy. You might recall a lot of those soldiers say, listen, I signed a contract for a certain amount of pay and the government's not paying me. Russia says, go pound sand. So this First Amendment, probably in the trash. You may also notice that you do not want to run a newspaper critical of the war in Ukraine. You'll go to jail. And you definitely don't want to post on Facebook or Russian equivalent about how you feel about the war in Ukraine. Straight to jail. And if you go to peaceably protest the war in Ukraine, straight to jail. So we could effectively say that Russia's anti-liberal establishment starts with crossing out the First Amendment. Second Amendment, guys, a well-regulated militia, right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You might recall that this one actually is pretty robust in Russia. Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy, unhinged military groups fighting in Ukraine, but that's the catch. You gotta fight. So yeah, you could build the next Wagner group, but man, You either do what the government says or you get bombed into oblivion. So we're going to call this one a maybe in Russia. No soldier shall be quartered in time of peace, quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, or in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. Guys, feel bad for those villages. This is not a problem because the villages where Russia is fighting are almost always flattened by artillery, so you cannot be quartered in a house that no longer exists, right? Now you could see that many of these things, like the speedy public trial or an impartial jury, right? This sort of thing is, where you have a real conflict with Russia. You might recall that a whole bunch of Americans got rounded up and charged as spies or simply just disappeared, right? You want to end up in the punishment hole. Again, that would be a violation of the Sixth Amendment. So I point these things out because, again, the Bill of Rights, that's neoliberal bullshit. Vladimir Putin is the one who's going to safeguard your rights if you move to Russia. So enjoy. Let us know how it goes. Of course, you can't because, again, you won't be able to. Anyway, that's all I had, guys. Thank you so much to the Colonel tier members, Martin Baum, Chris Rossi, Stuart Abel, Daniel Brown, Sergei Zenchenko, Chris Holmes, Chris Gorsuch. Could not do it without you guys. Be sure to hit subscribe. That really makes a difference for me. Tells the YouTube algorithm that the content I make is good. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.